Well, ladies and gentlemen, shaky microphone. Kathleen Kennedy's come out and spoken about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, that is right. And what has she said? Obi-Wan Kenobi's scripts were too bleak. That's right, ladies and gents. This show, which is marketed as he's quite, I mean, you've seen the trailer now. It looks like he's quite bleak. Which, side note, my trailer reaction has been copyright claimed by some absolute raging buttholes that are not Disney. So I'm a bit confused by that. So if it's disappeared, that's why. But the trailer looked pretty bleak, And, the leaks seemed pretty bleak. Like bodies strung up, which is actually shown in the trailer as well. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Something a little bit more mature, I guess. No. Vespa gang all over again. Kathleen Kennedy's come out and said that the original Obi-Wan Kenobi scripts were too bleak. Cool. And that is why production was halted for a swift rewrite. That's right, ladies and gents. Doing things super, super quickly on multi-million-dollar productions is always really smart. It always works out the best, doesn't it? Ugh. Now, FYI, quite like the trailer. Some things I really like. Some things I thought looked poo. Like the Grand Inquisitor. I think he looks like an idiot. Elongate the head. It's not that difficult. In that makeup, he looks pudgy. If you literally just raise the forehead a little bit, he would look less pudgy. There's already been fan edits, and it looks better already. So there's some things, again, that I like, some things that I dislike. But now, to sit there and be like, oh, well, we had to do a swift rewrite, it doesn't sound good, does it? It doesn't sound good at all. Now, we had already known that this had happened. But this is an IGN article, as ignorant as they always are. So after the events of Revenge of the Sith, it looks as though Obi-Wan Kenobi is in a bad place. I mean, yeah, he should be. Even though he, seemed pretty happy about taking on the task and just dealing with it and, going through his life that way. But no. His fellow Jedi had been hunted and killed, and those who survived were driven into hiding. But it could have been a lot worse. Apparently, it could have been way more mature. Which is what people want. This is prequel fans, right? This is the prequel fans, yeah? This seems to be marketed towards the prequel fans. Like I'm looking at some of the imagery, like it looks to be prequel fans. They're old. They're old people now. When is Disney going to start catering to actual fans and the age ranges of the fans? You can still have kid stuff, but you can still make it mature. I just don't get it. It's so bloody frustrating. But anyway, Kathleen Kennedy, in her wise wisdom, has come out and revealed that the original Obi-Wan Kenobi scripts were scrapped because they were just too bleak. We're looking, ultimately, to make a hopeful, uplifting story. But that's not what you advertised either. None of this looked hopeful in any way, shape or form, did it? None of that screamed hopeful, even down to the prequel music. And this is why I say that this is very much for prequel fans, because they even used the prequel music. They included this stupid farting animal that farted on Jar Jar Binks that we've never seen since. I don't think we've ever seen them again. This is for the prequel fans, and yet, no, it's not. Now, it's tricky when you're starting with a character in the state that Obi-Wan would be in coming off of Revenge of the Sith. That's a pretty bleak period of time. You can't just wave the magic wand with any writer and arrive at a story that necessarily reflects what you want to feel. But you probably tried anyway. Now, worried about the direction of the upcoming series, Kathleen Kennedy stepped in and decided to stop production in favour of rewrite. Now, that to me doesn't signify a grand deal of positivity. I'm not going to lie. Why did you even enter into production with something that you weren't approving of? That's not very smart, is it? That's pretty dumb. Why would you do that? Why would you enter into production on something that you then would have to halt production to rewrite. Who's signing off on it? And the thing is, because I went on Twitter, I know, a cesspit, I know, but IGN posted this on Twitter and everyone's like, oh no, Kathleen Kennedy's involved. She's involved in everything. But is she? Because it doesn't look like she approved this shit. Because it enters into production, and then, and I say, I'm not saying this is poo, but I'm like, this item, because it enters into production, and then they have to halt it. Well, you would have read the scripts, love, if you were really that involved, wouldn't you? Apparently not. Apparently not. That doesn't fill me with confidence either. Like, what are you doing? It's terrible. Oh yeah, we'll just start production and then go, oh, it's a bit too bleak. Oh, we'll just better stop that. What? So dumb. Anyway, Obi-Wan star Ewan McGregor admits that the series starts in a pretty dark place. And, you know, I've read this before. I did a video on it. You know, we find Obi-Wan at the beginning of our story rather broken, faithless, beaten. Now, it's interesting that he has to go through, you know, essentially witnessing someone die to then not be so faithless and broken, which is pretty odd. You know, because apparently, you know, in this story, there's the linchpin of the whole story is basically, you know, a little Jedi comes and finds him, and then he's basically dispatched. But just it's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And this bloody Reaver, she's gonna have some redemption arc. I bet you anything. Deborah Chow directed the upcoming series with scripts by Joby Harold. And yet, ladies and gents, how involved can Kathleen Kennedy possibly be if it made it into the production stage? As in, they were shooting it. Production. They were ready to go. And they're like, oh, we best stop now. Hold on. Kathleen Kennedy's actually read the scripts. She doesn't like them. Let's just rewrite it super quickly. Oh my God. And this is when I think everyone was like, oh, it's good, it's done now. It is baffling to me. Absolutely baffling. And they do say, you know, even after the rewrites, it sounds as though Obi-Wan Kenobi doesn't pull any punches. The first Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer saw us return to Tatooine with our first look at the return of Darth Vader to follow. Bringing back his old apprentice. Now, Darth Vader sets up the clash we've been waiting for. Not many people have been waiting for that, to be honest. We saw the clash. It's when Obi-Wan dispatched himself. I just think ultimately, if you have to rewrite it because you didn't approve the scripts, but you did approve the scripts, that's not positive. I'm sure we can all agree with that, right? Apparently too bleak, ladies and gents. Kathleen Kennedy has spoken. She has spoken! And yet probably didn't read it in the first place. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. I want this to be good. But they're moving further and further away from what I thought it was going to be, which is going to be a more mature, brutal story. Doesn't sound like it's going to be that anymore. Let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. In the description box, you'll find my second channel. That's right, I've got a second channel, guys. A load of you have been like, Mr. H, you jacked. I never knew you were jacked. If you subscribe to my second channel, you would know I'm this size, generally speaking. Check it out, you might like it. Twitter's down there as well, and my Instagram. Please do follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers over on Twitter. A load of you are just not getting notified of videos. I share them over on Twitter. Great way to be notified and interact with me. And basically, I share dumbass comments from people as well, which is quite funny. So check it out over there. Cheers anyway. I'm going. Bye.